The prosecution in Sara Duterte's impeachment says the Senate would go against the Constitution if it dismisses the articles of impeachment without a trial. The International Criminal Court freezes the cash seized during Rodrigo Duterte's arrest. The Philippines becomes the world's biggest solar panel spender. Fuel prices may decrease or increase starting June 30. Iran and the US agreed to halt hostilities and renew talks regarding their dispute over the Strait of Hormuz. The prosecution panel in Vice President Sara Duterte's upcoming impeachment trial says the Senate would go against the Constitution if it immediately dismisses the articles of impeachment without a full trial. This comes as Duterte requests the impeachment court to junk the case against her over its alleged failure to meet constitutional standards.
It would go against the letter and the spirit of the Constitution if they dismiss at this point, even before the trial itself, even before the presentation of evidence and evaluation of evidence.
The prosecution panel argues dismissing the case without allowing them to present the evidence against her is considered a premature action.
Our position has always been that the function and duty of the Senate is to conduct a trial, to hear the evidence and then come up with a decision.
Senator Robin Padilla, the vice president's ally, had filed a resolution seeking to dismiss the case against her even before the convening of the impeachment court in its first impeachment saga in 2025. Meantime, the House prosecution panel designates former Surigao del Norte 2nd District Representative Robert Ace Barbers as impeachment trial advisor and spokesperson. The International Criminal Court's trial chamber orders the freezing of the money seized during the arrest of Rodrigo Duterte. This was in connection with his crimes against humanity case linked to his violent drug war. The amount of cash seized from Duterte has not been publicly disclosed. ICC registry says the seized cash remains in the custody of the detention center's chief custody officer. The defense earlier argued the prosecution's request to freeze the money was entirely unnecessary because it will have no practical impact upon the existing state of affairs. The prosecution has also asked the court for access to several items seized from Duterte at the time of his arrest, including a set of keys. Duterte's team notes that while it does not oppose the prosecution's request, it pointed out that the request for access to keys is insufficiently substantiated and should be requested. The Philippines becomes the world's biggest solar panel spender as Filipinos flock to install solar power amid soaring electricity prices caused by the war on Iran. Top power distributor Meralco has raised prices by 10% since, with households spending around 12% of their monthly income on electricity, assuming they consume the approximate monthly average for 3 people of 200 kilowatt hours. The Philippines is one of the few countries in Southeast Asia with barely any power subsidies, and its residential power prices are the highest in the region. Only Singapore comes close, but its citizens' average purchasing power is nearly 13 times higher. The rooftop solar rush has resulted in $407 million in panel imports in the 3 months through May, a 145% increase from a year earlier, which accounts for most global supply. Even when Chinese panel shipments fell 13% in May after a tax rebate removal, exports to the Philippines rose by almost a third. Fuel prices may see a slight rollback or a slight increase starting Tuesday, June 30. Energy Secretary Sharon Garin announces the following permitted price range adjustments for the week of June 30 to July 6. Gasoline will have a decrease of 10 centavos per liter to an increase of up to 1.90 pesos per liter. Diesel will have a decrease of 1.16 pesos per liter or an increase of up to 84 centavos per liter. Kerosene will have a decrease of 78 centavos per liter to an increase of 1.22 pesos per liter. The price hike follows last week's major rollback. Last week's rollback followed a drop in global oil prices after easing tensions between the US and Iran reduced concerns over oil supply disruptions in the Middle East, including the Strait of Hormuz. But the DOE warns that any further price declines could be limited by low oil inventories and uncertainty after the temporary ceasefire. Iran and the US agreed to halt hostilities and renew talks regarding their dispute over the Strait of Hormuz. This raises hopes of saving an interim peace deal that was under pressure from days of tit-for-tat strikes. The official says technical talks are slated to continue on all areas of the MOU. Both sides will stand down for now and vessels can move freely. This refers to the 14-point Memorandum of Understanding agreed on June 17, under which the strait would be reopened for traffic. Axios, citing a senior U.S. official, says talks would resume Tuesday in Qatar. Our return to diplomacy would follow several days of strikes and counter-strikes since an Iranian projectile hit a cargo vessel in the Strait of Hormuz on Thursday. Both countries accuse the other of breaking the interim ceasefire. And that's today's wrap. I'm Julian Cirineo. Thank you for watching. Click the link below for the full story. For more updates, download the Rappler app.